Time now is 8:40. Now, there has been news that more pre-prepared meals have been found to contain horse meat. That's further shaken confidence in mass-produced meat products. And this morning, there have been calls to temporarily ban the import of all meat from the EU.
Yeah, we consume a large amount of processed beef here in the UK. Over a quarter of all the beef consumed in the UK is fresh or frozen mince. A
similar amount is fresh or frozen beef pieces. The rest, just under half, is processed beef. Well, we're joined now by butcher Richard Pimlott.0od morning. Thanks for coming in. Hello.
And yours is a traditional family butcher's shop.
That's right, yes. We were established in 1869. I'm the fifth generation. So
fifth generation, yeah. So you know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I mean, I drove past my local butcher's on Friday and I noticed the queue was much longer than it normally would be. Have you seen an increase in interest and trade because of this scandal going on and the supermarkets affected?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, you know, since the sort of scandal broke, we've had a lot of new customers who say that their confidence and trust in the supermarkets has been broken, and they're not going to use them anymore, and make sure where the meat is coming from. How
easy is it, though, to switch for a consumer who's used to the convenience of ready meals and the price of ready meals? Because buying meat from the butcher and either saying, I want this lump of meat, can you mince it in front of me so I know what I'm getting, or mince that you say is beef, it is more expensive than buying in the supermarket, which has offers of value products out there. So how easy is it for consumers to actually change? How affordable is it?
I think it's very affordable. The difference in quality means that although it might seem it's costing more, actually when you've cooked it, you get much less wastage. So what you start out with, you actually keep, rather than you could buy a value mince, for instance, that once you've cooked it in the pan, you'll see a lot more fat and reduction off the cheaper mince, whereas the good quality meat will stay.
Are there cheaper cuts that you can ask for, rather than asking for, I don't know, steak mince, which is obviously going to be quite pricey because it's very lean and it's a slightly more expensive cut? What other cuts should people be asking for?
Well, there are cheaper cuts, but I don't think you necessarily need to go for cheaper cuts. I think if you buy the better quality, it's actually, at the end of the day, costs you less money.
So you should just buy less when you go to the butcher?
Yeah, buy less because you'll end up getting more, basically.
That can't always be the case, can it? That it ends up being more in the pan at the end of the meal. That's magic.
Well, it's not. I mean,
it's a magic porridge pot.
Well, because there's not as much fat in it, we trim all our meat to a very high specification. So, when you cook it, there is no wastage.
This comes down as well, I suppose, to people who don't traditionally go to the butcher. It's quite a rare thing now because of the convenience of going to supermarkets and having meat in packets. It's a new experience. So what should you ask for when you go in, for anyone who hasn't experienced this before?
Well, we're always there to give advice. I mean, celebrity chefs have been very good recently. They've put a lot of new ideas out there of cooking fresh and what have you, so there's lots of information out there. We always give good advice. Meats like value cuts, like sort of mince, shin beef, all the diced sort of meats, things like that, very economical.
So you shouldn't be afraid, basically, to say, I want the fat off this.
Absolutely.
I want you to do it the way I want it.
That's the benefit of coming to a local butcher. You can have exactly what you want, cut how you want it.
OK. All right, then. Richard, thanks very much.
You could have worn your apron, though. I'm a bit disappointed.
Might be a bit grubby.
Yeah, exactly. Bit of blood. Thank you very much indeed.
Time now is coming up to 8:45. You're watching Breakfast from BBC News. Here are the main stories.